Hey friends, Bill here with Sportsman Outreach. I want to talk about what does it mean to get your wallets out? What does it mean to get your wallets out? Well, it's really a movement to commit to gospel preaching in the open air around the world, basically. And what we're looking for are evangelists throughout the world, including the United States, who have a particular project they are seeking to get funded, and that's all there is to it, really. We're not trying to fund someone to be full-time. We're trying to fund a particular project. And I'm going to explain in a second how we got to the title, Get Your Wallet Out, in a second. But right this second, I want to say we got 3 projects on board right now. One, Rick Garland. A lot of guys know Rick out in Los Angeles, First Baptist Lomita out there. He's got a building, part of the church, that if he gets it built out, he can house 8 evangelists there. And that's a great place to launch from, to preach in Los Angeles. And 2 gentlemen in Africa, Reverend Amok is in Ghana, and he wants a motorcycle to get around better, to preach at games and stuff. Another, Jonathan, who is out preaching. He needs some sound equipment and a way to get that stuff rented and out and about, and he can preach throughout the area. So that's what this is all about. You're going to see opportunities to give throughout on this email. And so I'm encouraging you, if you're not going and preaching on a consistent basis, to give to this mission, to get your wallet out and give. And so here's how the whole idea came into being, why I'm using that language. When I was in a political fundraiser about 30 years ago and living in Charlotte, North Carolina, working for a gentleman running for governor, I went to perhaps the best fundraising event I've ever been to. And it was put on by these, quote, city leaders in Charlotte at the time. And they were there to fund essentially a local ministry there that really served the city well. Anyway, so these guys, they were very lively characters. They were, all parts. They were leaders from all aspects of the city, very well-known names. And it was just one of those kind of events everybody went to every year. I think it was around Christmas time. And so you went in there, as a room full of people, several hundred people, 400 or 500 people, a huge crowd. And so they had some program, which I don't remember what it was, but what I do remember is this. The organizers of this breakfast, the city leaders, went around from table to table with a basket. And everybody sitting at the table put their check in the basket. That's nothing new necessarily. We see that a lot. But here's what they did, which was really powerful, is they would, especially a couple of the more lively city leaders, they would look in their basket and they'd pull out a check. And they were probably, they were definitely trying to make a point, but they're teasing along the way. But they'd pull out a check and say, hey, Billy Bob, did you only give, whatever they said? And they'd give it back to him and basically tell him to tear it up and write another check. And all of a sudden you felt this great pressure come on you. I mean, I was sitting there, I wasn't making much money. I'd written a check for like $25, but honestly tore it up and wrote one for $50. I just didn't want them to do that to me. Obviously I wasn't gonna push the ministry over the top or anything financially, but it created this pressure. I've never seen anything quite like that before. And so it worked. They raised a lot of money in one couple hours in the morning to fund this thing, probably $250,000 back then, which is a good hit. And so they got it done, in and out, boom, done. And that's really the motto. Get your wallet out is really saying, hey, are we giving? We profess that we give. You came to this breakfast like the guys in Charlotte. You want to be a part of this? Let's get your wallet out and write a check. Is that all you're going to give? Hey, listen, we need to do better than that. And I think that's really what I'm driving at here, is that if we believe in this, we believe in gospel preaching in the open air. And if you're not going much or going at all, you really need to get your wallet out and give to others that are going. And we need to give so guys can get out and kind of multiply what they have. And whether it's a house like Rick, a motorcycle need for Reverend Amok, or for Jonathan, preaching sound equipment and transportation where he's at. And we've got to really begin to get our mind and heart around this thing and get our wallets out and start giving. If we believe in the power of Christ being proclaimed and therefore Christ being heard, then we need to give so that message gets out around this world, especially with men around this world who are out there preaching. See, we're spreading the gospel by simply getting our wallets out and giving to their work. So I hope you'll do that today. Give to one of these 3 guys today. Give generously. Thank you.